Welcome to my channel, Sacred Intuition. And today we're going to get a message from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine. If you do not resonate with the label Twin Flame, this is also applicable for a higher level soulmate. I'm going to be talking from the masculine perspective and what they would like to say to the feminine. Okay, so I already pre-shuffled the Heart's Hidden Secrets Oracle deck, and the four major energies that came through are distracted, bitterness, thinking, and fantasy. And I feel a masculine who is sad and, in all honesty, actually quite overwhelmed at this time. They're going back and forth. They're actually absolutely annoyed with themselves for all the delays. They regret that they got sidetracked, that they didn't actually realize your worth while you were in their life. I actually do feel like this is a reading for people who are either in no communication or very limited communication, very flaky communication. I also pick up on a masculine energy. Well, if you are in communication, actually, this is still applicable, because I get the message through that this masculine is frustrated. That's it. It's frustration overall. Yeah. This masculine is absolutely frustrated because this masculine is not yet there where they want to be. For instance, maybe they have promised you something in the past and they never followed through with them. They actually can't blame you if you're actually feeling a bit bitter, because they continuously let you down. And I feel like they're quite stuck because they're so kind of caught in the ego, because they're being frustrated, they're feeling bitter. They're also feeling bitter if they've ever used hurtful words and maybe lashed out towards you. But I don't actually get like a specific, like that they were really like abusive with their words. No, but hurtful words can be as well. Saying stuff like, oh, I only see you as a friend. Yeah. When clearly the behavior that they've shown you before had absolutely nothing to do with the friendship treatment. Please don't get confused. If you have a friends with benefits kind of situation, then easy. Why do I get easy, Tiger? Yeah, that's a bit different. We'll leave it at that. We're talking here about a situation, about a connection where there are mutual feelings, whether they've been clearly communicated or not. Okay, and I actually get more that they've been hurtful by not acknowledging the feelings, or maybe not to the full extent. And maybe this actually did create some bitterness in. Well, bitterness is a bit harsh. I actually don't get the feeling that the feminine really is bitter. More so maybe disappointed, maybe a bit taken aback. But yes, it was hurtful, because if you're treated one way and then this person is completely taking the validation away from you, this is quite shocking, even though we do not need external validation. And if you feel it intuitively, yeah, without being delusional, and you feel it deeply, then trust your intuition, please. Especially in a twin flame connection, it takes a lot of healing for the masculine energy to actually process and also express their emotions. That is a strong suit of the feminine energy, okay? And I'm not bashing the masculine energy at all, but it is being said the masculines are quite easy and quick in grounding things. Yeah, like anything in the material world, easy. The masculine energy is really quick in doing so, while the feminine is very much bringing what is in the ether into, how you say, well, bring it into the 3D, but more like vision wise and emotional. Yeah. Anyway, I'm drifting off. So, all they can do, and believe me, we're going to be using the Green Witch Tarot in a bit, and we'll also get Confessions of the Soul by Made for Love, messages from the DM to the DF, Divine Masculine to Divine Feminine. They're so stuck in thinking about you because that's the only thing that they can do. And believe me, they are looking you up on social media. If you've ever exchanged any messages, whatever outlets, if they've written you a letter, handwritten letter, whatever. I mean, okay, obviously when they send the handwritten letter, then they can't reread it unless they kept a copy to themselves. But you get the drift. Like if they have any copy of the messages that they've sent to you, or more importantly, any messages that you've sent the masculine, they're rereading that. They're continuously fantasizing and daydreaming because that's the only thing that really brings them joy and peace. Okay? You might be sitting there, yeah, but if it really brings them joy and peace, so why are they not actually standing in front of my door? Why do they not spend time with me in the physical? Why? Because, fun fact, a male colleague of mine actually opened up to me like 2 weeks ago. And he was actually talking about that he experienced marital problems, right? So with his spouse. And I was actually very, very interested in hearing how a masculine energy is approaching that kind of scenario. So they decided to actually split, and they have been together for 20 years. Not gonna lie. And I was like, whoa, okay. And he's like, yeah, it only lasted like really 3 days. And he's like, you know what? At first I felt relieved. And then I felt just incredibly sad. Because yes, he was relieved because they didn't argue anymore. And he had some time to think to himself. But he actually realized for himself that the only person that he actually wants to have by his side in the future is this particular woman. And not even his friends or family members would be that high up next to her, you know? Anyway, I'll get to the point. So he was going on and on and on about, and I think at one point he was so surprised himself that he opened up about like his fears towards me. And because we talked about something completely different before that. And then he was, and you could actually see that he actually got slightly emotional, where he actually had to pause and take a breather. And then he said, you know, I'm someone, if I have a goal, I go for it and I just follow through. And I thought to myself, yep, that is proper masculine energy. It's action oriented, right? It's pentacles. It's grounded. It's Material, yes, okay. Decisive action. And I was like, yeah, makes sense. But basically, I actually thought of that actually later after we finished the talk, and and then he said, but you know what? I almost said my real name. He said, he's like, but you know, what really bugs me, he's like, I'm trying to figure out how to find the solution. He's like, you know, I don't see the way. I know my goal and I know where I want to go, but I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to do it. And this drives me insane. So I asked him the question. I was like, yeah, but this is something that's going on in your connection with your wife. So, and you're talking about insecurities. He actually had the insecurity that he thought, because his wife started to go on regular walks in the afternoon and longer walks in the afternoon with their dog. And he actually said that he is now fearing that she might be seeing someone else. And even though he knows that she's not, he had this deep insecurity. And he felt so ashamed of it to even think, even though he knows her, and he knows her so deeply and so well, that he is too ashamed to actually voice that insecurity to her. So I said to him, well, maybe you should open up to her. And if you can't say it to her in words, like directly to her face, maybe you should write it down. Do you think you can write it down? And he's like, yeah, I think I can do that. And I was like, you should. Because yes, healing is something that we have to do on our own individually. That's true. But if an insecurity is involving another person because it is part of your partnership, it's an insecurity that you have about your partnership, then it's not going to help if you're not opening up and you're not communicating. And it's not about making accusations. It's about talking from the I perspective. Be like, I feel like this because of that. Not to say, you're going on a walk with the dog and now I think you see a man, because that's an accusation. But if you say, I feel very deeply insecure right now because we're at a vulnerable spot, and I really fear losing you. That is a whole different message. And any normal thinking person would appreciate that kind of communication. And only if you open up in that way, you can actually communicate, okay? And actually find a foundation, like a basis. And this would bring so much healing. Like, communication is key. Communication is going to be the factor that decides whether your partnership is going to fail or if it will be a success. And I talk about healthy communication. Whoa, sorry. Kicked the camera a little. Well, maybe you needed a little kick. Who knows? Yeah, wow. Now I went off on a rant. But, I do think this is kind of tied in with this message, because this masculine is also so much in the head, and they have whatever has happened between you guys going on a loop over and over and over and over and over again, but they can't solve it. And why can't they solve it? Yes, because the only person that could give them answers or can help them to determine how to get to the goal would be you. And this is exactly why I had to think of my male colleague that opened up to me. And I just thought it was so curious that he said it. He's like, no, I have to find the solution on my own. Because I see the goal. I should know the solution. No, you don't. And this is where it's wrong. to believe. The masculines always feel like they have to do it on their own. But in a partnership, there is not only the masculine and the feminine way, there is the masculine feminine way, like together. Otherwise, it's not a partnership. Anyway, let's dive into the tarot. Let's see if we get any more specific messages here. And but most definitely, they're in the head, they're daydreaming. They see you as the absolute price. That's what I get. They see your value. If they didn't see your value before, and that caused them to create some bitterness, then believe me that they've realized that. And they might be not. Oh, that's interesting. It's the Standing Stone. Oh, I love the Greenwich Tarot. For the longest time, I've been thinking about purchasing it, and now I did. And the 11 card, the Standing Stone, is the Justice card. And what I really get is that this masculine wants to bring justice to you, to this connection, right? Because they're so tired of it. They are so, yes, King of Swords underneath the deck. It's called King of Athens. And I think I'm slaughtering this name. But so I'm going to just call it King of Swords. Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like putting this here, actually. I feel like they made a decision, but they're still going on in their head, trying to figure out how they can bring justice to the table. I almost said to the table. Bring justice to your connection, to your situation, okay? But they're going and juggling back and forth, going back and forth. One day they think, oh yeah, I can do it like this. And the other day they think like, but maybe it's better that way. Holy Moses. Get out of your head. That's going to drive me bonkers if it's going to. Okay, another card fell. Page of Chalices. If they did say anything hurtful to you in the past or cause a misunderstanding, any communication that maybe hurt you in a way, any action that might have hurt you, they want to come forward with a Page of Cups, which is the Page of Chalices, and offer you an apology, offer you like at least a small gesture of emotions. But look, the Page of Cups has this one cup that they want to offer you. But look at the river, like the roaring river. Can you actually say roaring river? Like this wild river. This is actually the amount of emotions that they have for you. But for now, they will come and offer you this little cup. Because that's the only thing that they feel like they can express. Because everything else, that would just knock you off your feet. But like in a bit of a, it would be overwhelming. That's what I get. If they would open up completely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Aww. The 9 of Wands and the 2 of Chalices, the 2 of Cups came out. The 9 of Wands. And that's so interesting because normally the 9 of Wands is something where you would say someone who has been either through the battle, but I get a completely different message with this 9 of Wands. With this 9 of Wands, I really have to think again of my male colleague that came up with different ways, like the 9 Wands, the 9 different ways how to approach this situation. And can you tell how indecisive that person is? Because they have like the 9 wands laying in front of them, and they're just like, screw it. What am I gonna do? They're trying to become enlightened. Beautiful little fairy trying to advise him. You call it a groundhog, right? Just a beautiful tarot. So they're not quite sure yet what road to take, but they know what they want. And that's the Two of Cups with you. That's what they want. That's where they see you. And what I really love is what I've seen underneath the deck. And that's number 20, the Harvest card. They're ready, and we're in harvest season. Oh, isn't this beautiful? People, oh my goodness. Yes. And underneath it is the Ace of Pentacles. They want to harvest. They want this brand new beginning with you. Okay, wait. Let me move this over so that I can put the Ace of Pentacles where you can still see it. And you know what I also love about this tarot deck? You don't have to cover up any nudity because there is none. Okay. This is a beautiful message. This in itself is a beautiful, beautiful message from the DM to the DF. So let's quickly have a look. What would they like to confess to you? What would be the confessions from the DM to the DF? What would they like to say? Okay. I hide my pain behind my ego. And I again have to put emphasis on what my male colleague said, because this is quite aligned with what he said. You know, he was acting all tough, but he's actually not that tough. Yeah. What did I say? What did I say? Underneath the deck, I watch you on social media. Oh, heck yeah, they do. They constantly do. And even if you don't have proof, believe me, they can watch you. If you have an energetic connection, they can watch you in a million different ways. Whether they are astral traveling, whether they are constantly thinking about you and tapping into your emotions and energy field. If you have a strong connection to someone, believe me, you don't have to pick up a phone and you don't have to see them in person. So, let's see, is there any other confession that wants to come through from the DM to the DF? I love these cards. I was too damaged to love you. Yeah, and they might have been. Maybe so caught up in what society has taught them. Yeah, maybe. But you know what? Yeah. Underneath the deck, I'm sorry for all the hateful things that I said. I was just afraid. They're resenting themselves. If they ever said anything that was some kind of injustice to you, believe me, they regret it. They regret it so, so much. You have not even an idea. And I have to put it to the Justice card because I really do feel like it's correlating. They want to bring justice to whatever has happened in the past. And just one more card. Any other confession that the DM would like to tell the DF at this point of time regarding this message today? Anything else? Yeah, one more. One more time. Yeah. What did I say about the Two of Chalices? that they know that they want this with you. They are not quite sure how to approach it yet, but like the emotions are running wild and deep and they're ready to harvest this. They want to give you the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. I know you are the one. They do. No matter what they might have said to you in the past. And to be fair, they've always known. They've always known that you're the one. There is no doubt in their mind. This is beautiful. Yeah. And underneath the deck, I'm not going to put it out there, but it's, I'm working on my abundance right now. What you don't know, before I shuffled the Greenwich Tarot deck, I always pre-shuffle the decks before I use them, but I looked underneath and I saw the Eight of Pentacles and I was like, oh yeah, they're really stuck in the material world. So this is just another confirmation. They're really working up a way how they can approach you. If they've been struggling financially, they're getting ready to build up the financial abundance because they want to support you. They want to provide. And it's not because, I can, as a woman, yes, I can still provide for myself. Yes, and rightfully so. But still, it is okay for a man wanting to provide and give you security. You don't have to be a gold digger, but it's just, it's a healthy way of masculine energy. This is how they feel comfortable, right? And I don't think there's anything bad about it. It's only bad if you are toxic about it. If you just think that it's normal that someone buys you all the stuff, then yes, but then that's your problem, not theirs. And but that's not the case. My collective, I know that we're self-made women, okay? But only because we might be successful in our business, yeah, or businesses, and we might be quite financially stable, yeah, or we might, whatever. We can take care of our bills. Let's put it this way. That doesn't mean feminine energy is being receptive, okay? It doesn't mean that it takes away anything of our, whatever we've built, if someone wants to provide. And it's also completely, you know what? I welcome any masculine that is in a healthy masculine energy that just sees me as someone they want to pour themselves into. And if they do that by providing financial security, then be my guest. As long as you don't think that you can buy me with money, then that's fine, because that again would be toxic masculine energy again. Same with feminines, by the way. Always watch out not to be toxic feminine. Toxic femininity is clingy and overly jealous, projecting, okay? Gossiping, very negative, yeah? So let's all work on our communication. I'll leave it at that. Sorry for the rambling at the end. I should have maybe closed out the reading like 2 or 3 minutes ago. Anyway, take care, and I hope you liked this message. Until next time. Bye-bye.